Yes, for our final video, it says to open our AutoCAD 2D Lab 34.1. We saved it with this name. So check your previous files for AutoCAD 2D Lab 34.1. Once you get to this drawing, step 1, we open the drawing. Step 2, use the Save As command. So go to Save As. I go to this A up here, and the Save As command. Save it with the drawing name AutoCAD 2D Lab 41.1. So 41-1, that's what we save it as. A new folder, which is a class activity, and then save. Okay. Step 3 says in the layout module layout, HW8 layer viewport, create 2 viewports as shown in the figure. Set the scale as follows and lock their display. So I'm going to drag the textbook onto the screen so that we can see what we're to do. We want to make 2 viewports with our title. So for this layout, we'll use our title block that we have created, and we will make 2 viewports and put in these views for that. And let's get this done. I'm sending back out. So for my layouts, I have a new drawing here. There's layout 1. If I click on it, layout 2. But I'm going to open my title block already. So right click on layout from template. I have my title block, Patricia. So I'll open that. It's an H3 layout. Okay. So I have that new layout here. Okay. So you can see the one we made in class, and we want to create 2 viewports. I'll change my setting back to 2D and drafting and annotation. To create viewports, we type in the command line mview. Let's call it mview, enter. So specify the corner. We need to make 2 viewports. So 1, and then I'll hit my space bar for another one. And so now we have 2 viewports, and we need to arrange them in this manner. This is bigger than this, and then we have the top and the side, and then we have this other part in there. So go over here, double click to adjust this. So if I double click in the view, it's highlighted, and then I can move it. We need to turn off the grid. So if you want to turn off the grid, click on this grid mode and it will turn off. And then we can adjust. So there's something that was said about a scale. So let's go back to our textbook. And it says the left viewport scale is 1:1.5. This is the left one, 1.5, and that other one is 2.5:1. So let's go ahead and set it for 1:1.5. So still in these viewports, we come to this corner here and look out for 1:1.5. So we have 1:1, but we do not have 1:1.5. So in this case, we're going to create that scale. So for us to create the scale, we go to custom, and we are going to add the new scale that we want. What is the name to appear? 1:1.5. And therefore that means that 1 paper unit will represent 1.5 drawing unit. So okay, now it's in the list. So back in here, we're going to set the scale to select 1:1.5, and there you go. So for that, I'll click outside. Then I need to adjust this box because we need to follow the row switch. So there you go. And I need to make sure this layer, it was green. So I'll create a viewport layer and change it to that color. So back to home, layers, And I'll create one for my viewport. So new layer, viewport. We're going to give it the color that we see there, kind of green color. Okay. Now close this and I select this and give it the viewport layer. Okay, so the second one, the scale we're asked to use is 2.5:1. So back in the drawing, double click in the space, turn off the grid by clicking here. While we're here, we want to change our scale to 2.5:1. So back here is how you set the scale of your drawing. I see 2:1, but I do not see 2.5:1. So we need to create that scale now. So go to custom, add 2.5:1. That means paper units will be 2.5 and while drawing units will be 1. Okay. Okay. And so I can now select it for that viewport. I have it up here. And I'm going to be dragging. So once you set the scale, you cannot zoom with your mouse anymore. If not, you will change the scale. So let's look out for the part we want to highlight, which is this part, 2.5:1. That's what we need to show. So once I have that up here, I double click and I'm going to change this to the viewport layer. And then the next step, 2.5:1, and that we have our title block. And step 4, it says in paper space on layer center lines, add the center. So add the center in paper space on layer dimensions, add dimensions. So let's go for the center lines. So we have the center lines across here and across this section. So go back to my drawing. I have my center lines already shown up. If you don't have that, please add the center lines so that they're visible. And then we want to go on to dimensions. I'll check my layers if I have a layer called center lines and also dimensions. So I do not have center lines. I'll create one for center lines. And then I'll create one for dimensions. I have center lines and dimension layers. And so center lines for center dimensions are blue color. So go back and make the dimension blue. So we can set the color here. Dimension, go to color, and it's gonna be this blue color. Okay. And dimension line, center line is black. So ensure that in the model space we will change our center lines to center layer. So this is center line, this is center line, this is center line. Go up here and make sure that they are center line layer. Okay, so select it and give it a layer to selected. So click, right click, display locked. Yes, let's lock now. Right click, display locked. Yes, so it's locked now. And then we want to dimension in this space. So go back to annotate. Go to, let's start with this one, multi-leader, see detail, see detail. So select it, properties. Select it and go for properties and change arrowhead to 5 and the text height to 5. See detail. We'll come here and we're going to diameter of this 30. Properties, arrowhead, arrow size, that's 1. can change it to F5 is too big, let me say 3. And then the text height is 2.5. I make that 5. It's bigger. So rule is dimension in this space, and let's do for these sides. And drag this to this point, go to continue dimension, and then pick this thing 20 and 20. That's just wrong. So go back to the textbook and see what is that dimension to be. So this is 30, but this is 20. So I'm gonna delete it and do that again, linear. Still says 20. 30 here. I'm gonna drag it from here and take it to the top. And then bring this back here. And then we'll go for the height. We start from here. And then we do this part. And then we do this part. So give some distance between the two of them. So 130, 50. I see a lot of point zeros. Is that how? Yeah, so 30.0. And then I need to move this to get more space for here. So remember, this is flexible. Then double click in there and then drag it. Oh, is it locked? Okay, because it's locked, so I'm going to have to unlock it before I can walk inside. So select. Okay, because it's locked, I'll click outside again, click on it. And the display locked, no, because I want to walk inside, double click in it. And I can drag it aside, click outside again. And I can now move my viewport. So begin to see another shape there. So close that up. And then move this aside, okay? So now we are dimensioning in the paper space. Angle, come over here. Angular, from here to here. 90 under. But you need to lock this back. So lock it. Display locked. Yes. And then we go to. I need to dimension this part. So I need to look at what the dimension style is like. But dimensioning from center to the end here and the width. So back to the AutoCAD. Go for linear. From center to the bottom here, come out here 17, and then space bar from here to here. I see 2. Was it dropped there? No, it came down out here, so bring it out here. Okay, so that is for that. We can increase our arrow sizes because I see these very bold arrows here, so we can increase the arrow sizes. So come here. If I select the 2 of them, I can go for arrow size to make it I use 5 or 3. More visible now. I can match properties with other dimensions, so the arrow sizes are bigger. Oops, I changed the number. So I won't do that. I'll select them and change the arrow sizes. Arrow to 3. So we've done these steps now. So go back to the book now. Detail of key, scale 2.5 equals to 1. Detail of key, scale 2.5 equal 1. So come here, I'm going to copy this. Drop here, and then I'll edit it. caps lock, detail of key, scale was written like this, and then 2.5 go to 1. I go back and check. This looks like it should be, if I come to annotate, like if I select properties, I want to centralize it, but it's no. Okay. So if I double click on it and then select it, they have all those things that we have in Word where, oops, it's a very big box, so that's gone out of my screen. I want to bring it back centralized. Click on it and drag it back here. Okay. I'm bringing it back here, but to get the idea, I want to centralize it. So next step here. The next step, ensure that you snap to models with your certain dimensions. Okay. So step 5, we need to turn layer viewport off and fill in the title block. So turn the viewport layer off and fill in the title block. So come to home, turn the viewport layer off and fill in the title block. So company name, date, run by, check by. If I double click on this, and I need to type in my text here. So let's edit. So we won't double click this. I'm going to close the block. I'll get a text and copy and write in all these names now. But usually we should be able to edit the text in the title block. Okay, I remember now. So explode it. We'll explode our title block. Go explode. Good. And then now we can edit this and type in what is the company name. Figured. So for this, I can write it on a new line. I think this space requires me to go FSU. And then date, my date is 12/6/2022. Drawn by Patricia. Here, if your name doesn't fit in, you have the option to select it and reduce the, let's see, we can scale down the text. So if I click on this and I go to scale points, I can make it 0.5, so it's smaller. So adjust your text so that your information fits in. Check by the scale is different, so scale varies, drawing number, sheet number. So you get the idea. We filled in our title panel, so I can see your name in there. And then change to model space. Our figure should match this figure. So if I go to model space, my figure should match that figure. So I come, where's my mouse now? Come to model space. My figure should match this figure. That's what it is there. And then save and close the drawing. And this is our final module. Thank you for following the steps. Thank you for working out. I'm sure you have better drawing skills now, and I wish you all the best in future. So we're done with our drawing. This is drawing. Good luck and all the best.